Hello everyone, welcome back to Resonant Rise episode 6, and you might have noticed I put some walls on this place. Now, that's pretty much, well, it's not everything I've done between episodes, but it's pretty much all I've done between the episodes is I put some walls up, and I'm debating whether to actually put a roof on this, because with them being smelteries, they, outdoors is not really a bad thing. I do need some sort of light source in here, so if I press F7, you'll notice that there is a big bunch of yellow crosses. So I do need to get myself a light source of some form, maybe some lamps. They call lamps, yes, there they are. Some of the Project Red's lamps. Might place them in the floor or something. Not too sure of that. Leave a comment if you think I should have a roof, or maybe what type of lights, so yeah. The other thing I found out between episodes is that this system over here, which as you can see I've lowered the floor a bit, is a little bit broken. The problem I had was this stuff. This part worked fine, so this was being fueled by these. It was sucking out the stuff, and everything was getting drawn out and thrown into the barrel. Now, as you can see, I've only got 9 stacks of charcoal left. Now, the problem I had was it was pulling out these stacks, sending them through, filling up the dynamos on the system. And then when it didn't have anywhere to go, I think it was just bouncing around a bit. Obviously I can't see into the pipe, but eventually it would hit either of these two sides and actually just dump it out onto the floor. So there was basically stacks of charcoal being wasted from just despawning from being on the floor. So I actually turned off the thing drawing out of the barrel, and I took all of the charcoal back out of the dynamos and threw it back into the barrel. And so that's basically why I've only got 9 left. So this episode, instead of doing whatever I was planning on doing, I'm basically going to change the system and use a slightly better way of organizing it, basically. Now, another point is these dynamos, once this block is full, these will still use up the charcoal, just not as fast as they would normally. So this, it would consume the charcoal and it would slowly tick down and then consume another piece and slowly tick down, which was a bit wasteful as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redstone control these in the new system, and it's going to be controlled for when this is mostly full. So I'm going to grab some stuff, come back, and I will show you the new system that I'm going to design. Okay, so you may be wondering what I'm actually going to use for my new system. Well, it's a good old mod that I spotlighted not too long ago. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it is Steve's Factory Manager. So, very simple mod. Basically, it consists of, generally speaking, this block here, which is used to plan out a series of flowcharts, and these blocks, as well as different variations of basically this block. And this will connect to any inventory. So if we throw down a furnace and we drag in a input, then as you can see in the inventory we can see the furnace itself. So this block will interact with this and it will sort out all the stuff, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So what I'm actually going to need to do is plan out the system, because it might take a while to do, and then I will show you what the system will do through the flowcharts, and I'll sort of talk through it and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it all up in the same kind of area, and then I'll come back. I've placed down the furnaces over here, and I've also got some inventory cable going underneath them. I've set up the conduits going up. They come around here and attach to the cell. I do need to change the configuration of this. So there we go. And then the dynamos are connected. Underneath each of the dynamos is some inventory cable, and then we have the steam dynamos on top. And then what we need down the middle is some of these things, which are redstone emitters. So what these will obviously do is emit redstone when told to do so. Now I'm going to have to sleep through the night, and I've got a cool little tool for that, which is a sleeping bag. So I'll come back once I've slept in my sleeping bag. Okay, so once you've done that, what you want to do is connect up a where is it? Here it is, a standard computer graph computer underneath. Attached to the cell, and then a redstone receiver underneath, and then this needs to be connected using some of the inventory cable as well. So this is the basic setup. Now all we need to do is connect up the machine inventory and the 2 barrels that we have stocked over here. I've just grabbed another barrel of wood. So they basically all need to be connected up onto the system. So I'm going to do that off camera, and then I will start to show you the inventory manager itself. Right, okay, so everything is in place. I forgot to mention I put a accuracy limiter just under the floor. Where the cable runs past, it just connects to it on one of the faces. So everything is in place, and the first thing we want to do is write the program. Now this is on startup again, so you type in edit startup, all one word. Well, like this, edit startup. And that way you will get onto a program that will, as soon as the computer boots up, i.e. when you log into your world, so when you open it each time, it will automatically start the program. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to use a mod called Open Peripherals to wrap this cell. So what that means is basically it's going to be able to connect to it and receive information from it. So simple enough, just type in cell equals peripheral.wrap, and you want to wrap it on the side that it is, which I currently have it on the back of the computer. So this is the back of the computer it's connected to, and that will wrap the thingy. Right, now there's a bit of other code I'm going to type up, so I'll type it up. I'll give it a quick explanation. You can pause the video when you if you want to read it and go through it. Okay, so we're done. So what's happening is the peripheral is wrapping, so it's getting any functions that it can from the cell. And then we're going to start with this function, which is checking energy. So what it'll do is it'll check the energy stored at the back, which is obviously the cell. And if the cell is over 1,900,000, then it will set a redstone signal. So as you can see on Whaler at the top, it says it's got 1,900,000, 918,341 out of 2 million. So that's what it's checking. Now if it is above that, it emits a redstone signal. If it isn't, it will turn off the redstone signal. What this bit at the bottom is doing is it's checking to the function, so it's checking the energy, and then it's sleeping for 10 seconds. So it's basically just not doing anything for 10 seconds. So this is basically, it's another way of using a buildcraft gate. Now, we're going to need to do the inventory manager. So basically, if you haven't seen my Spotlight, I suggest you do check it out, or VSWE Spotlight. He does a lot of stuff for his mod, which is this. But if you haven't seen it, then the basic thing is everything starts with a trigger. So everything either will trigger from a time interval, or perhaps a redstone control, or even a block update. Okay, so the first thing we've got is this stuff set up here, and what it is this is everything to do with the dynamos. So we've got the redstone control here, we've got the input of charcoal here, and the input of water here. So the first thing it's going to do is check computer. So that's obviously this block, but it's actually using this block to check. So there we go, selected the redstone receiver, and then if the signal is high, it's going to turn the engines off, and by doing that it's going to emit a redstone signal through the 5 blocks here, and it's going to emit a redstone signal of 15. Now them 5 blocks are obviously these 5 blocks here, and the engine on is going to do the opposite, so it's the same 5 blocks, but it's going to emit a redstone signal of 0. Obviously that means nothing. So that's basically the redstone part. The next part is the timer for the barrel charcoal, so this barrel here. So timer of 5 seconds, and then it's going to output anything, well, it's going to import anything they can find in this barrel here. I've set target down and up, I didn't know which one to pick, and it's got a whitelist of charcoal, so it'll only ever pull out charcoal from this barrel over here. And then what it's going to do is it's going to output them into the steam dynamos. So I have all the steam dynamos connected. It still isn't working, and the reason for that is because what you need to do is select the targets, not the targets, the inventories, and click define multi-selection interaction, and change this to this barrel here, this command here. And what that should do is run a command for each of the dynamos, and then it's basically set to a charcoal, but it's only specified the amount of 2. So as you can see, the numbers changed. I don't know if you noticed, But then each of the steam dynamos now has 2 charcoal in it. And then the next thing we've got is the timer for the water. So we've got the accuracy limiter, like I said, underneath the floor. So it's got that selected. It's missing a direction, so if we simply select any of the directions, whitelist is empty. What it should start to do eventually. Okay, got everything working. Bit of a rookie mistake, to be honest. All it was the this output here wasn't a liquid output, it was a normal output. So I just changed them around and changed it to the condition. I also added this open blocks water tank, so it's connected to the aqueous accumulator. The redstone condition didn't seem to work, so I've changed it up a bit. I've got a standard timer up here, and then it goes through a redstone condition, and the condition is basically it will check this if it has a redstone signal of between 1 and 15, and if it does, i.e. true, it will turn the engines off, and if it doesn't, it will turn them on. This seems to work a lot better. Obviously it seems to actually work, so there's a bonus. So that's basically it. So that's the dynamo sorted. They've all got fuel that should keep up, and they've all got water, and they are controlled by a redstone signal. The next thing we want to do is we want to move these logs into here, and we want to move the charcoal out of here into this barrel, and then that's pretty much the whole system sorted. So I'm going to do that quickly, and I will show you that. Okay, 2 very simple systems again. We've got a trigger of 5 seconds, and it's going to input from the barrel of wood, and as you can see it's already moved because this is set up properly, and it's going to output to the furnaces, and then this one is going to input from the furnaces any charcoal, and it's going to output them into the barrel of fuel, which is the one with the charcoal in. So that's basically it. As you can see, this will turn to thingy. Because it's on a 5-second timer, it will wait for 5 seconds. So as you can see, it will hold it for a bit. And that's basically it. So that's filling, these are filling that up, and this is filling them up, and all good things are working. The only problem we have currently is the way I was moving the barrels, i.e. just picking the barrel up and dropping it, will reset this barrel here, or it will set this trigger here each time you move it. Now that's only going to be a problem if the inventory actually changes. So if I was to pick it up with this, move it, and then put it back again, it won't recognize it's the same barrel. So that's just a quick note. If you're pumping stuff into a containment area, or the barrel stays exactly where it is, everything will be fine. So that's these set up properly again. Now the other thing I wanted to do this episode is I want to show you something a little bit different. Now everything I've done currently has been all technical stuff. I want to show you oh look, the dynamos have just turned on. I want to show you something that's a bit decorative. Now these are carpenter's blocks. Okay, so what do the carpenter's blocks do? Well, I've been playing with them a little bit. As you can see, my hammer has actually got a bit of use to it. As you can see, you place down the slopes, and they're a slope. Not very interesting, really. Also, not particularly good looking block either. But that's not everything. If I left click the block with the hammer, it will orientate it in a different way. So as you can see, it just sort of spins it around. But if I right click it, which is the interesting bit, no, it doesn't just do that. If I keep clicking it, as you can see, we'll get weird looking blocks, like a corner piece, or a upside down corner piece, or even like this weird slab here. So there's loads and loads of different variations of what this block can do. So yeah, that's kind of what it does. You can create all sorts of designs. I've seen loads of them. But the cooler thing about it is it doesn't have to look like this. If you put a piece of stone on it, you can see it will turn into a stone variant of the same block. You can even put a piece of glass on it, and it will turn into a glass piece of that block. So we've got a glass slope here, or click it a few times, we've got a glass corner piece. But what I'm going to do with these blocks is I'm going to design the power room with this stuff inside around these blocks. I'm not going to put too many in, just mainly the corners and stuff like that, make them look a bit cooler. But the storage room, hopefully I'm going to use these blocks to make it look different, completely unique, something totally different in some sort of manner. I don't know what I'm going to do. No idea yet, but I will. But that's pretty much it for episode 7 of Resonant Rise. Hope you liked the Steve's Factory stuff, and I hope you liked the little bit of computer craft I did. Next episode I will be starting off with the storage system, because I will have built the room by then, hopefully. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see you later.